All right, Al, thank you so much. It's just been over a month since NASA astronaut Scott Kelly began his year-long stay on the International Space Station. It's a mission that also involves his identical twin brother, Mark Kelly, and both brothers are with us this morning. Scott is aboard the International Space Station, and Mark's a bit closer. He's a former astronaut, NBC space analyst, is right here with us in the studio. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Savannah.
Well, I've got you here, Mark, but I'll turn my first question to Scott. You're up in space. I know you're just going over the Bahamas right now. How's your first month going? You're 1 month down, 11 more to go.
Yeah, so far so good. When I got here I think it's been about 40 days ago, I almost felt like I had never left. It's amazing how your body adapts to this environment and how it remembers actually being here. So, even though there's a long road ahead of me, I'm feeling pretty good about the whole thing so far.
You've got 5 other astronauts aboard the space station with you. I'm imagining an episode of The Real World. How is it actually going up there? How are you guys getting along, and how's your work going, more importantly?
Yeah, we get along great. We're all professionals. We're in this together. It's, it's a tough environment to live in, but, as a team, we get through it, and our work's going great. Doing a lot of science, doing a lot of work on the space station itself. Pretty soon we're going to start moving one of the modules around and kind of reconfigure or reassemble the space station a little bit, so we have that work ahead of us. But, yeah, everything's great.
And Mark, you are part of this study, and it's kind of a dream come true for NASA because you have 2 genetically identical individuals, one spending a year in space, one down here on Earth. Tell me about, I guess, the possibilities that this creates for NASA researchers.
Well, let me first back up why we're doing this. So we have a good sense of what it takes to fly in space for 6 months. But if one day we want to go to Mars or some other destination in the solar system, we know what the engineering is to do that. We don't know a lot about the human body. So Scott's spending a year in space, and NASA's studying both of us because we are genetically the same. That's going to give NASA a lot of information to reach out into the solar system.
And what does that entail for you? I guess you go to Houston, you are part of experiments, they're drawing blood, all kinds of things like that?
Yeah, so Scott's the guinea pig in space, and I'm the guinea pig on Earth, and there's a lot of blood draws, a lot of MRIs, ultrasounds, some stuff I'm not even sure what it is. I just lay there on the table.
And Scott, I know Mark has a professional drawing his blood and doing that kind of thing. You have to do it yourself. I imagine it's pretty complicated to do some of these experiments up there in space.
Yeah, sometimes we draw each other's blood, and in my case, I do it myself. When it was suggested I do that to save crew time, I thought there was no way I'd be able to do it. But for whatever reason, it doesn't hurt as much. It's easier, more convenient for me. But because of how many times I have to do this, it's more convenient for me to do it myself. So, yeah, I do the blood draws myself, and I also do a lot of the other things with guidance from the ground, like the ultrasounds, for instance, whether it's my eye or heart, carotid, brachial arteries, my leg muscles. All of those are done as me as the operator with help from the ground. And we have some other imaging devices, too, that we use, especially on our eyes, that the crew members on board are the operators, where, like you said, Mark has professionals helping him.
Scott, I really am a big follower and admirer of your Twitter feed. You're getting a lot of beautiful images from the space station, and I know you have some other creature comforts like the new espresso machine.
The space station is actually even though it's a remote place and it's a tough environment because you can never leave, there's no running water, you have a lot of work to do, you're always at work. There are little things that make life here more normal, like the espresso machine, which we just got running, which, by the way, is a science experiment, and we only have 15 espresso capsules, so we're kind of rationing those. But it worked great, tasted great. Recently got a projector television to use for work-related things like video conferences and some software we can look at on it, but we also use it to watch movies. So, yeah, some of those little small things make a big difference up here.
Absolutely. I think they watched Gravity. I don't know if that's the movie I would have chosen, Mark. I don't know about you. It turns out, and I won't get into all the reasons scientifically, that you are now aging a little faster than your brother up in space. So when he comes back, you will be 3 milliseconds older. Do you have any older brother advice?
Well, I'm already 6 months older, so I'm going to gain another 3 milliseconds, and that's Einstein figured that out, right?
Yeah.
General theory of relativity. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with those 3 milliseconds. You should ask him to like flip over upside down so people can see he's in space.
Oh, well, let's do it. Your brother suggested you do some party tricks, Scott, as we leave you. Can you show us some weightlessness?
Yeah, I sure will, but first I need to correct my brother. He said he was 6 months older. He's really only 6 minutes older. I know sometimes he thinks he's more like 6 months, but it's really only 6 minutes.
Okay. I was wondering.
Hey, Scott, and change that Air Force sign you got in the background. You need to put a Navy sign up there.
I like this. This is a great opportunity for you to just harass your brother. I want to say thank you to Scott Kelly aboard the International Space Station and to Mark right here on Earth. Great to see you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right.
Yeah, pleasure being with you guys today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the NBC Today portion of the event. Please stand by for YouTube questions.